my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa and I, and I would like to welcome you into the fam. Guys, I have some really exciting news. I officially have a PO box address. I've left it down below in the description box, so feel free to send me letters, anything you'd like for me to see or read. And at some point, I'm definitely going to film a video responding to your mail. So if you send something over to me, it may be part of one of my future videos. So about today's reading, we are going to be discussing your soulmate, who they are, what they're going through, when you're going to meet them, what kind of job they're currently working in, are they older or younger than you, and what your love story is going to be. So all of my beautiful sisters and brothers, everyone who's a part of the Unicorn fam, today's video is going to help you figure out all of the nitty-gritty details that you've always wanted to know of when it comes to your soulmate. So in order to help you uncover all of these details, I have 4 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. Pick whichever pile of cards as well as crystal that you feel represents a love life that you would desire. And the names of the crystals and the decks are as follows. Group number 1 corresponds to the Modern Witch Tarot deck as well as the Red Jasper. Group number 2 corresponds to the Whispers of Love Oracle deck as well as the Orange Calcite. Group number 3 corresponds to the Tattoo Tarot deck as well as the Pyrite, and group number 4 corresponds to the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck as well as the Diopside. And as usual, all of the timestamps can be found down below in the description box as well as pinned to the comment section. So I will now give you a little moment of privacy with the 4 groups so you can meditate on them if you choose to do so. So by now, you've hopefully been able to choose one of these 4 groups, which I'm going to get into momentarily. Before I do so, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. I've been consistently uploading multiple videos a week for years now. So being subscribed to my channel means that you can rest assured that you will be receiving content on a regular basis. As you guys know that I'm always here with my videos to connect with you, to provide support, divine messages, as well as healing and relaxing vibes. So if you're into all of those things, you will feel really comfortable in the Unicorn fam. But now let's get into the readings. I will be starting off with the Modern Witch Tarot deck and the Red Jasper. So if that is the group that you've chosen, you can keep watching, and to all of my other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Modern Witch Tarot deck as well as the Red Jasper. I'll show you a quick close-up of both. Here we go. This is the Red Jasper group number 1. This is a really stunning crystal. And then we have the Modern Witch Tarot deck, which we're going to use to get into your reading right now. So all you need to do is lean back, relax, and enjoy as we figure out all of the details about your soulmate, group 1. First up, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So group number 1, in the 8 of Pentacles, I can immediately see that your soulmate is a hard worker. They're someone who is dedicated to making the most of their education and making the most of the resources that are available to them or have been given to them. So whether they are from a wealthy background or a background where they had to struggle financially, they appreciate everything that's been given to them, and they want to work hard in order to create an amazing life for themselves. Let's see what else we have. We have the 10 of Cups, amazing group number 1, as well as the High Priestess. So one thing that I can see here in the 10 of Cups, group number 1, is that the universe is confirming that this is truly your soulmate reading, because the 10 of Cups is one of the most favorable cards when it comes to relationships. This is a card that shows happiness, that shows fulfillment, that shows, a potential family, a potential expansion of your relationship that starts right here, and being open, being able to live your truth, whether that is being in a marriage with someone who is what society thinks is ideal or not. You're living your best life with your soulmate and your spouse. That is one thing that I can see here in the future. In the High Priestess, I can see commitment and dedication. So I did say living your best life with your soulmate and spouse. If you do believe in marriage, or that is just something that you want, want, maybe for the presents, the celebration, the outfits. I mean, we all have our reasons for that. Some of us just need to get married because of certain like immigration purposes. So I can see here in the High Priestess that whatever it is that you desire with commemorating your relationship and solidifying it, that is something that your soulmate is going to give you, and that's something that your soulmate is all for. So even if they're maybe not the biggest fan of marriage, or maybe they want to get married but you want to hold off a little bit, they're going to favor whatever it is that you desire. I can see here in the Wheel of Fortune group number 1 that your soulmate is someone who is really lucky. They're someone who constantly attracts abundance into their life and seems to always be able to make the most no matter what. I can see here in the 8 of Swords that they can be a little bit insecure, and they can often feel as though they're holding themselves back. So because your soulmate is someone who sees opportunity and potential in so many things, they often feel like they're kind of holding themselves back in many ways because they don't like to blame exterior circumstances. So let's see what sort of letters that we get here. We have the letter N, so I'll put that right here, as well as a J. Okay, so this is a little bit more information for you, group number 1, on your soulmate. Let's add a few charms and see what else the universe has to say about your soulmate. We have this little, I would call this like a yoga charm, so to say, just sitting there cross-legged in meditation. So they're definitely someone who is grounded and centered. And then here we have an anchor again. So this is adding to this notion of groundedness, of them being in a spot where they're comfortable in their life and feeling as though they're secure in who they are, even though they can sometimes be a little bit insecure when it comes to dating and when it comes to their fullest potential, their highest potential. They're nevertheless pretty happy with themselves. I can see here in the Knot and the Cloud group number 1 that they have a few temporary problems right now with plans being unsuccessful, and that's maybe also why they're working so hard on their future here in the 8 of Pentacles, and they're working so hard in order to create a better life for themselves. So in the 8 of Swords, with them being a little bit unsure whether they are actually in the way of their own success, or kind of blaming themselves before they blame other people, I do see here in the Knot that anytime something goes wrong for your soulmate, they feel as though this is something that they can fix. I can see here in the Dog, Far Away, that when it comes to geographical distance, your soulmate is rather far away. They're not exactly in a very close location, but you know, thanks to being able to fly and travel, it is something that you can overcome pretty easily. Of course, it depends what type of restrictions that you're facing right now in your country when it comes to traveling, but I do want you to know here that as soon as you're able to go visit them, this is something that you're going to be able to overcome pretty quickly. I can see here in the Ace of Cups, group number 1, that this new relationship is close to ready to launch. Okay, so you're going to meet your soulmate sooner rather than later. Let's figure out here in the months of the year when exactly you have the opportunity to meet your soulmate. There we go, September. Okay, so this is kind of a confirmation for you, group number 1. Like we said, sooner rather than later. So September is an ideal month for you to be able to connect with your soulmate. So I'll put that right here. Let's move a little further into your reading for more information, shall we? We have the Queen of Diamonds reversed. So we spoke about this grounded type of energy, right? When we had the anchor, we had this kind of lotus position, this just sitting cross-legged, being in a state that is dependable. And the Queen of Diamonds is the Queen of Earth signs. The suit of diamonds corresponds to the Pentacles, which is a suit that reflects the element element of earth. So by earth signs, we're talking about Taurus energy, we're talking about Virgo energy, as well as Capricorn energy, group number 1. So they may be one of those signs in their sun sign, but they may also have strong placements in their moon, rising, or ascendant sign that is just filled with earth sign energy. I can see here in the Knight of Crystals, we have this fiery energy as well, this fiery placement within them, which is that great energy that we have of them working hard to push themselves forward and creating an amazing life for themselves. Too much earth sign energy may end up with them being very complacent. So while they are grounded, they're still innovative, and they're still someone who is a go-getter and who puts in the work, right? Who wants movement to be a part of their moving forward. So that is where we see that mix with the earth as well as the fire energy. And the Queen of Swords reversed, group number 1, we have their intellectual side that is something that they sometimes struggle with. So your soulmate is someone who isn't always the best at expressing themselves, okay? They aren't always the best at saying how they feel or saying what it is that they desire out of another person or a relationship. So that's where you're probably the one who is more decent at communication, and you're probably the one that people turn to when they want information about something. So in your soulmate relationship, you're going to be the organizer, you're going to be the go-to for other people when making plans. Next up, we have the sunrise. Group number 1, I can see here in the sunrise that creating new things with your soulmate, a fresh start, is one thing that I can see coming for you. So this fresh start could be starting a business together with your soulmate. It could be just overall doing things together that you've both never done before. So going on an adventure, traveling, or like I said, starting a fresh business with one another. Next, we have the egg, which stands for success being assured with good plans and hard work. So you're really the one that plans, you're the one who is the organizer, the communicator, and your soulmate is more of the one who executes, group number 1. So in conjunction to age, I can definitely see that you and your soulmate are close in age. We have the Queen 2 times, the High Priestess, as well as the Knight of Crystals. If they were, for example, younger, we would have more page energy, more princess energy. If they were older, we would have the Emperor, we would have the Empress, we would have more king energy, and that would kind of lead to us understanding that your soulmate is most likely older than you are. Next, we have Judgment, as well as the 8 of Swords. So the 8 of Swords is something that we have here as a repetition. We already had the 8 of Swords up here, group number 1. So they're definitely in their head many times, and there's someone who needs not a lot of compliments, but just reassurance from that one person that matters to them, and that would be you, group number 1. So you do have to tell them that you mean it, okay, that you truly want to be with them, because otherwise they'll always feel as though maybe you're not that into the relationship. They're the type of person who thrives on clarity, and who of course wants to ensure that if they're investing their emotions and time into the relationship, that it's really something that can last. Because I do see here in Judgment that they do not like to play games, group number 1. They're someone who is very serious when it comes to a committed relationship, and they have been with people who have tried to play games in the past, but they feel as though when it comes to their integrity, it's not something that they're capable of. They're not a player. They're not someone who has had a tumultuous history when it comes to their relationship life. They're someone who thrives off of being in a committed relationship with one person. So group number 1, this is the reading that I received about your soulmate. I really hope that you found this insightful, that you're leaving this video feeling reassured as well as relaxed. Leave a little egg emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that this is the group that you chose and that you made it all the way to the end. Thank you for spending this divine time with me, group number 1, and I'll see you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the orange calcite. Let's do a quick close-up, as well as the Whispers of Love Oracle deck, in order to help uncover all of the little hidden gems and secrets about your soulmate, group number 2. So let's get into it. So excited to figure out who your soulmate is and how your relationship is going to play out. First and foremost, we have the heart of the matter. So I can see here that there's more going on than meets the eye. At least there is for you, group number 2, and that your soulmate situation, your soulmate relationship is going to be so much more than you're going to show other people. Let me explain. You're not going to be posting a lot of photos or videos or just a lot of content in general when you're with your soulmate. You're going to keep the relationship really private because you're happy. You don't feel the need to overcompensate. I can see here in act as if your partner is here, that whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they're with you, so you will always consider them. So that is one thing that I can see that is going to be a heavy part, not only of your life now, you know, being confident whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you feel like you're with your soulmate or not, but also later on, once you are together with your soulmate, you're both going to act as though the person is there, no matter what the situation is, whether you're alone with another person or they're alone with other people. When you are apart, you're still acting in a faithful way towards one another, because trust, as well as being honest, being respectful of the other person, whether they're there or not, that is the foundation of your soulmate relationship, group number 2. I can see here in honesty being essential, that speaking with love and truth is something that you're both practicing, because this is a very mature relationship. That is the vibration that we're getting right off the bat for you, group number 2. No more games, and being 100% honest. And this may come from a background of both of you knowing what it's like to maybe be cheated on or to be lied to. So moving forward, it is a big no-no for you and your soulmates, group number 2. You're not about that life. You want to ensure that you're always real with one another, upfront and transparent about what's going on, and that you're never disrespecting one another in public, especially if you're out individually. Next up, we have the King of Swords. In the King of Swords, I can see here that your soulmate, group number 2, is someone who's most likely older than you. King energy is a bit of older, more mature energy, and in the King of Swords, I can see that they have a lot of air sign energy. Now, air signs meaning Aquarius, Gemini, but also Libra, and they're definitely someone who is upfront and someone who others come to when they need very direct advice. I can see here in the Magician, group number 2, that they're someone who has their ways. They have a way of getting what they need and getting what they want. So your person, group number 2, is definitely someone who isn't afraid to take a risk or to gamble. It may actually even be a hobby of theirs to gamble, to take a risk. Okay, we had a card that popped right out, which is the Dog Far Away. I can see here in the Dog Far Away, group number 2, that they remind you of an old friend, and that is one thing that I can see here in conjunction to the Magician. They remind you of someone who you used to know. They remind you of someone who you used to be friends with, but with that romantic aspect, because your soulmate is someone who you have that romantic tension and chemistry with that other relationships don't provide. I can see here in the table that it will take work for you to meet your soulmate, group number 2, and it's important for me to always be transparent and be real with you in your readings. I don't like to just say things because that's what people want to hear. I like to be very open and honest, and in the table I can definitely see that some hard work lies ahead before you're able to meet your soulmate, before you're able to establish this connection. Now let's see what that hard work is all about. I can see here in the world that the hard work is actually first feeling completely whole and completely fulfilled before entering a committed relationship. Now, group number 2, this is really a thing of self-love and self-satisfaction. That is one thing that I can see here. This is the most favorable card, and in conjunction to the table, I see that in order to be happy as a whole, whole with your soulmate, with your partner, you have to first be just furiously happy and content with yourself, like in a way that you feel like you don't even need another person in order to feel satisfied. I can see here in the Page of Cups that you're still at the beginning of this cycle, of this period in your life where you're progressing from your starting point, which you're at right now, to feeling super fulfilled with yourself and your life. And I can definitely see here that the whole culmination of that fulfillment is going to be meeting your soulmate. In the Six of Swords, group number 2, this may invoke some emotions of you feeling like you would like it to happen quicker. You know, you may be very impatient. You may want to immediately sail over to a different shore, or just overall say to yourself, well, you know, it's just one tarot reading. Maybe it's false. I kind of feel like I'm going to meet them sooner, or I want to meet them sooner, and that's fine, group number 2. One thing that I do want you to know here, though, is that just feeling like you want to rush things is definitely a sign, a symbol. It is a trait that you're displaying now. It is not a trait that you will display once you feel fulfilled and completely happy with yourself. And that is the point where you're ready to meet this soulmate in particular. Yes, you can have multiple soulmates in a lifetime, but the one that I'm speaking of that I see for you here, group number 2, is one that's going to come to you in this state of joy and happiness and fulfillment. You don't need them to fulfill you. You're already whole and fulfilled, and that's when they're coming into your life. Let's figure out exactly what month of the year it's going to be. We have March. Now, group number 2, March is not really that far away now, is it? Let's figure out what astral house it is that they're going to really trigger in you. I see success. Okay, so group number 2, this is something that we've been talking about, the fact that you have your own success, you have your own things, and then your soulmate comes in. It's not really a situation where you're kind of like this damsel in distress and then they come and rescue you. You don't need to be rescued. So we have the letter S, looking for some hints for their initials, group number 2, as well as T. So allow this to be a sign, allow this to be a further hint about who your soulmate is, especially if they remind you, as we spoke about here in the dog, of a distant friend or someone who you used to be friends with. Just knowing some letters of their name is definitely something that's helpful. Next, we have the Five of Cups reversed. So in the Five of Cups reversed, group number 2, I can see you moving from a place of emotional stagnation into a place of more abundance, emotionally speaking, which is exactly what you need in order to move into this fresh cycle where it's going to culminate with the World. And as we have here in the Death card, this is kind of like a confirmation of you having to go through a transformation, having to go through a change before you're able to meet your soulmate, group number 2. So there is still some work that lies ahead of you, but it will fly by. I definitely don't want you to feel discouraged because the timing is March. It is going to be well worth the wait, group number 2, and I do want you to know that this relationship is a very mature one, and you showing up whole, complete, and happy with yourself is essential for the success and to secure a future with this person. Group number 2, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you enjoyed my honesty and transparency. Let me know down below that you made it to the end by leaving a dog emoji in the comment section. Also, of course, feel free to let me know what resonated with you and what you're looking forward to. I love reading your comments. So group number 2, thank you for spending this divine time with me, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Pyrite in conjunction to the Tattoo Tarot deck. Let's do a quick close-up of your stone. This is the Pyrite. This is also known as the Fool's Gold. So if you hear someone talking about a Fool's Gold crystal, this is most likely what they mean. This stone is a stone that attracts wealth as well as abundance. Now let's see in conjunction to the Tattoo Tarot deck what that means for your future soulmate. First and foremost, we have the Chariot. So in the Chariot, group number 3, I can see that your soulmate is someone who is driven. There's someone who wants to move forward in life and who wants to make it past their peers, their siblings, and their family members. They definitely want to break the mold and break generational curses. They're innovative and ambitious. Next up, we have the Eight of Wands. Now, group number 3 in the Eight of Wands, I can see that they sometimes tend to step on others' toes, not because they're trying to, but more because they ruffle feathers. A lot of people did not expect them to turn into this human being. So your soulmate growing up was most likely someone who is deemed to just be another average person, but they're breaking the mold and they're doing things unlike anyone around them. And this is definitely something that others didn't see coming, and some people may feel very envious of. I can see here in the Nine of Wands that they're all about their success. They're all about doing things that drive them, as well as things that make them feel super passionate. So that is most likely where you and your soulmate really click and connect, group number 3, having that passionate side to both of you, having things that you're really into and that you follow through on. I can see here in the Nine of Swords that your soulmate is someone who's really afraid that they'll never find love. Right now, they're in a difficult situation. They're in a situation where they feel as though love is something that they always seem to have bad luck in. So finding you is going to be a big relief. Let's figure out what type of letters are part of their name. So we have an M as well as an A. So let these little details guide you, because when you're in a situation where you're unsure about who your soulmate really is, knowing their initials can be really helpful, group number 3. Next up, we have the Barrel. So they feel as though something is lacking in their life, perhaps love, money, or goals. But for them, it's definitely love. That's something that we literally just spoke about, group number 3, and the universe is confirming by bringing the Barrel into the reading. They are someone who right now is not in a relationship. Your soulmate is single, and they are actually worried that they'll never find someone who they really vibe with. Next up, we have the Stork. In the Stork, I can see news of a birth or a business opportunity in conjunction to your soulmate, group number 3. Know that you are most likely going to consider a family pretty early on with your soulmate. They may have someone around them who is pregnant, who is about to give birth, but also business opportunities are things that they're constantly looking for, and that is another thing that the Stork symbolizes and speaks of, group number 3. So when we piece that together with the rest of your reading and what we know so far about your soulmate, this is most likely going to bring with it a business opportunity, the birth of a new business idea. I can see here in the Ant, group 3, that work, achievement, and success is right now at the center of your soulmate's life. That is one thing that is really important to them, and that's why they feel a little bit of an emptiness. That's why they feel a little bit lonely, because they wish that they could share this with someone else. I can see here in the Leg that they're ready to step into a new experience. They're ready to step into a new relationship. So your soulmate has been single for a long time, group number 3. They've maybe never even had a relationship for fear of being in the wrong one. But we had a few more cards that popped out of the pile. Let's see what those are. One of them is the Claw. So in the Claw, they've been very careful. They didn't want to take unnecessary risks with their heart, which, you know, is understandable, group number 3. And then we have the Well. So one thing that they definitely have always wanted to fulfill is also family wishes, and their family has had wishes for them when it comes to love. Their family has always wanted them to focus on their career, to stay single, to create a professional life that is of a high standard, that is something that a lot of others envy, but to remain single until they really meet the one. So they may be religious, or they may just overall be in a family where their family members have push them to remain single rather than be with someone with whom they don't believe a relationship is going to last. And that would explain why they haven't been in many or any relationships yet. I can see here in considering your foundation to look at how committed you are to love and to not get insecure or to not feel as though, oh, you're afraid that they may not want to be with you or they may question things a lot. Group number 3, your foundation with your soulmate is based on love and trust and based on wanting the same things in the future. So know that they are fully committed. If they're with you, there's no reason to question that. And even if you have been in relationships in the past, group number 3, where you've been betrayed or you feel as though someone wasn't completely honest with you, consider what this foundation with this soulmate is built upon and remind yourself that you both really want this and there's no reason to feel insecure about anything. I can see here in Express Love Through Gifts that your soulmate is somebody whose love language is gifts. And if you don't know what the love languages are, one of them is touch, one of them is words of affirmation, one of the love languages is acts of service, one of them is gift giving, and that is exactly what your soulmate falls under. They love to give gifts and they love to just show material things as an act of love. And this is not something that is shallow, okay? Contrary to what society tries to make it out to be, some people's love language is just gift giving, but we see this a lot throughout nature as well. Just think about all of the different species of animals who give the females gifts. You know, all of the animals that look for pearls, shells, that look for certain things, that build nests, that give the females gifts that are material, so to say, in order to impress. So this is definitely not something that is shallow. This is almost like a tradition that we see throughout nature that some people really love to express. I can see here in the Knight of Cups, group number 3, that they have strong water sign energy. So think Cancerian energy, think Scorpio energy, or Pisces energy. And in the Knight, I see that they're not much older than you. They're most likely around your age, group number 3, and they're the type of person who gets very emotional. So if you watch a movie with them that has a very sad like ending or topic, don't be surprised if they cry a little bit. Group number 3, I can see here in the Two of Pentacles that juggling their work life as well as their relationship life is something that is new to them and is something that is going to take a little bit of practice. Okay, it's something that might take a little bit of time, but I can see here in the Page of Pentacles that because they're still curating their own work schedule in a way that works best for them, they're going to be able to put their work kind of around the relationship needs that you both may have as soulmates. I can see here in the Seven of Pentacles, group number 3, that they're looking forward to finally being able to reap the rewards, to be able to enjoy all of the hard work that they put in the earthly realms, in their career, and they want to do so with you, and they want to do so through gifts, material gifts, experiences, just overall making you a part of that success. So let's figure out exactly what month of the year you are going to meet them. So we have November. Group number 3, see November as a prosperous month of love for you, a prosperous month of meeting your soulmate, group number 3, and look out for love during that time of the year especially. So group 3, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you found it insightful. Make sure that you leave a little fish emoji, a little blowfish emoji down below in the comment section if you made it all the way to the end to let me and others know. I hope that you could appreciate my honesty and that these divine messages hit home. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in another one of my videos. Hello group number 4 and welcome to your reading. You chose the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck in conjunction to the Diopside. Let me show you a quick close-up of your crystal so you can get acquainted with its vibration and just its overall feel. This is what it looks like. It is absolutely gorgeous. By the way, group number 4, all my jewelry will be linked down below in the description box. These crystal pieces are all from my online store based in Switzerland. Let's move into your reading in order to figure out exactly who your soulmate is and when you're going to meet them. First and foremost, we have the tiger's eye. So in the tiger's eye, I can see that your soulmate is someone who's brave. They're someone who has faced a lot of fears and overcome adversity in a way that others may be too afraid to do. So they have been through a lot in their life, group number 4. That is clear right off the bat. Next up, we have the Two of Wands. They have had to make difficult decisions and choices. They have had to decide to leave certain people behind and only move forward with others. So it may be that they've left behind a lot of toxic family and friends, resulting in them having the courage to do things on their own and being this person who is like a lone wolf who's able to survive in any type of circumstance. I can see here in the 8 of Swords, group number 4, that they're definitely someone who always finds a way out of the most difficult situation, and they understand that fear begins in your mind. Fear is most often not something that is like an acute danger, right? If you're afraid of an exam or you're afraid of a big project at work, it's not like that exam or that big project could actually harm you. You're just afraid of consequences of failing or not being able to perform the way that you would like to. And I can see here in the 8 of Swords that this is a fear that they have been confronting daily. They have been dedicating a lot of time to working on that. I can see here in the Hierophant, group number 4, that they're definitely a very connected person. They feel very connected spiritually, religiously. They're the type of person who is all about connecting with the universe and finding a deeper meaning in things. I can see here in the 5 of Swords that they've left behind people who don't support that. They've left behind people who are very conservative and people who just simply do not understand what being truly open-minded is. I can see in the 6 of Wands that they have created their own tribe, their own family, their own community in which they can be themselves. So group number 4, we already know that your person, your soulmate, is someone who has their own mind and who isn't afraid to face adversity. Let's see exactly what time of the year you are going to meet them. We have September. So group 4, September is a fruitful month for you when it comes to meeting your soulmate, and it is most likely the month of the year where you're going to be able to meet them, where you're going to be able to have that first and initial contact. Let's figure out exactly what initials are part of their name. Okay, we have L as well as E. So allow that to be a further way of knowing who your soulmate is, especially if you're looking out for clues moving forward and moving up to September, which is actually pretty soon. We have a few cards that popped out of the pile: the Ace of Diamonds, the 6 of Swords, as well as the 9 of Swords. Let's start with the 9 of Swords. Group number 4, in the 9 of Swords, I can see that they often get in their head. So your soulmate is someone who has a lot of self-doubt, even though they've overcome a lot of adversity. They're not the type of person who gives themselves a pat on the back very quickly. They always want to do something really big before they allow themselves to rest. I see in the Ace of Diamonds that they're currently working on a new project in the earthly realm, so a new project when it comes to money, when it comes to work, and just overall increasing their earthly abundance. In the 6 of Swords, I can see, group number 4, that they're constantly growing, they're constantly evolving, and they're constantly adding different ways of seeing life and seeing the world into their belief system. So they definitely are not someone who is a one and done type of person. They like to stay on the ball of science, spirituality, and self-development. I can see here in the Queen of Swords reversed, group number 4, that they have a lot of air sign energy. Think Aquarius, Libra, and also Gemini, and they have a feminine type of nature to them within this masculine suit. As you can see here, the swords is a phallic suit, which means a masculine suit, but nevertheless, they have a good amount of feminine, divine feminine energy within the suit that is usually very masculine. So they are in touch with their emotions, even if their words can sometimes seem pretty harsh. Next, we have the 9 of Diamonds. So a group 4 in the 9 of Diamonds reversed. I can see that they're very close to coming to this next stage financially that they have been wanting to get to. So a project is nearing completion to where they can finally get some financial resources out of the project. So if they have, for example, started a new project and they're looking for investors, know here in the 9 of Diamonds reversed that investors are right around the corner for your soulmate, and this is something that they're going to be successful at sooner rather than later. So we have more cards that popped right out of the pile. I can see here in Speak the Language of Love that loving words, that is their love language. Words of affirmation, words of support. That is one thing that they're really good at, and it ties in beautifully with them having strong air sign energy, because the suit of air signs, the suit of air, the element of air, that is a suit of communication, and them being good at that, it makes a lot of sense, group number 4. Next, we have relationship patterns. So they're the type of person who isn't afraid to call out bad patterns or toxic patterns in their relationships, and that's most likely also why they've had to do a lot on their own, because once they bring up these toxic patterns, either family patterns, generational patterns, a lot of people don't want to confront what they are brave enough to confront, group number 4. I can see here in Turn On Your Heart Light that they are the type of person who likes to reminisce on the good times. They don't think about the bad. They're always trying to innovate and move forward. And Turning On the Heart Light is definitely a card that gives us clues about what they do professionally. They're the type of person who doesn't hold grudges and who likes to move through a place of love and operate from a place of love. So they are helping people in some way, shape, or form. I can see here in Being Authentic that the core thing that they try to always bring with them is being real and true to who they are and how they feel, no matter whether that costs them a relationship, another connection, whether a family member or a friend, an employer likes it or not. It is important for them to stay true to themselves, and it is important for them to be authentic and to always say how they feel, no matter who likes it or whose feathers that it ends up ruffling. I can see here in the hat that they like to play different roles, okay? So I can definitely see an entrepreneurial spirit here within them, group number 4. They're not the type of person who likes to just do one job for the rest of their existence. I can see here in the egg that they're successful, and success is something that they know is assured with good plans and hard work, and that is exactly what their memo is, group 4. Your soulmate is someone who works hard. Your soulmate is someone who creates plans, who has a game plan as to how they want to move forward and how they want to create success, and then they follow through. They put in the work, they put in the hours, they put in everything that they need to in order to be successful in the areas of life that matter the most to them, whether it be the relationship that they're having with you or their professional life. Now, group number 4, this is the reading that I received describing your soulmate. Lastly, I do want you to know that they are most likely the same age as you, slightly older. We have that here in the Queen of Swords as well as the Hierophant. You share similar interests and you can really connect over generational pop culture. So understanding and knowing exactly what the other one means with like certain slang slang terminology, certain fashion, just certain events that occurred while you were growing up in a very similar era and period of time. Now, group 4, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you made it all the way to the end, leave a little phone emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know. Thank you so much for spending this divine time with me. I hope that you're feeling more relaxed and reassured after receiving this reading, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos.